The operations down, the kick by Little is perfect.
It was perfect, and almost a perfect day it felt like in Jacksonville. A celebratory day for the Jags as they get win number 1 at Everbank Stadium in the 2024 season.
But the game wasn't quite over yet. There were a few ticks of the clock left, but Trayvon Walker said, not on my field today. And he got the big sack. That's the clincher. That's the end of the game. Jaguars get win number 1. We're going to talk about it with Cam Little, our special guest, right now. Live from Strings on Jags Report. Live.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Man, it's unreal. The county of Duval, man, the best fan base we got, man. The energy they brought today, there's no other choice. We got the throwbacks, Trevor's birthday, Tom Coughlin getting honored, all the legends out here. The only thing we can do is get the job. Duval, baby.
You know what's impressive about that? Cam Little gets the game-winning kick, and he also remembers everything. Tom Coughlin, Trevor's birthday, shout out to everybody. New uniforms, throwback day, got it all in there.
Got
coming
a crown
off the field.
put on his head. I mean,
and
that was
Logan
nice.
Cook delivered the crown as well. Hey, everybody, welcome inside String Sports Brewery here in Springfield. Oh, they did get some trading cards there yesterday. Big day. Victory Monday for Moose as well. He's got that going on. Good to be here. Brent Martineau along with Dan Hicken, Jags Report Live at Strings Sports Brewery. And I'll tell you what, this was a fun football game because there's a lot to unpack in this game.
But first things first, and that's a big sigh of relief. That's all right, let's get a victory. Let's get this thing going. And they were able to get it going yesterday. It wasn't easy at times, but in the end, maybe special because Trevor did get to have the game-winning drive as well to kind of clinch it, and then Cam knocked it through from 49, which would have been good from 69, I think.
I guess sometimes it just has to be hard, right?
Yeah.
Especially that first one, and then maybe getting a little bit of a groove. And that's what kind of we're hoping with Trevor Lawrence, too. We've seen this before where he catches fire and he really starts feeling comfortable and confident. And he looked at, I just don't know if it's the Colts or if he's about to get on a little bit of a heater, Dan, but he delivered. He made every throw just about in this football game that he needed to make, and it was important.
Well, after that great training camp, man, this is kind of what we were expecting. Now, look, you don't have to throw for 371 every Sunday.
No.
That's a career high. That was a tremendous performance. Over 80% completion rate was terrific. He looked different. He looked confident. Looked good. And everything worked. They started out with some, shorter passes. In the end, he threw a couple beautiful deep balls, and he just had a magnificent day. So really one bad pass the whole day. You got to give him a lot of credit. But he wasn't alone, right? On the defensive side, one guy stood out.
Yeah, I know the defense gives up 34 points, and the fourth quarter wasn't ideal, but Trayvon Walker was ideal because the huge play at the end of the first half. I just thought that was such a massive play that people won't look at. And then he finishes it off, had a hat trick, 3 sacks. He's got 5 on the year now, 10 in the last 9 games. Former number 1 overall pick, the 2 number 1 overall picks, getting it done on Sunday.
Well, you mentioned those guys, and really what we needed were some of the guys who are the big-time players make big-time plays, right? And I thought they did yesterday, right? It wasn't just Trevor and Trayvon, but other guys. Tank Bigsby stood up. Our young receiver, Brian Thomas Jr., was so good. Christian Kirk had a couple big catches down the stretch. So, and the offensive line, shout out to those guys. They played terrific football for the Jaguars yesterday. So a lot of guys stepped up yesterday, and they needed to. The Jags won the game by 3. That's how the NFL works.
Our best players played their best, and it was something we talked about this week of just leaning on those guys and having them step up, and along with the many other guys that just made the most of their opportunities, and that's the things you got to do to win football games.
The fact that we was 0-4, we obviously had to get out of the hole, and somebody had to step up, and today it was just me making those plays, and we got to continuously be consistent. Everybody played a big effort in that.
I think that's going to make us better as a team, too, that it was even the first win of the season was tough, and it came down to the very end, and we had to earn it, So I think all that is going to build confidence moving forward.
Well, I think String Sports Brewery is about 1.9 miles from Everbank Stadium. Cam Little might be able to kick it that far. Arkansas Razorback fan in the house. I didn't expect to see the shirt. Yeah, how about that? Cam Little loves to see that. You didn't expect that, probably.
Did not. There's actually a lot of Arkansas fans here in Jacksonville. I've seen it throughout the stadium. I saw a couple jerseys stringing around in the stadium one time as well. So it's good to see that.
We'll get to that, by the way, a little bit later because that was a heck of a weekend for Cam Little.
Oh, yeah, great weekend. But let's start first. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kick.
I appreciate it. No, it was a great time out there.
Yeah, and just take us through the game-winning kick. Do you ever, like coaches do this that drives me crazy a little bit. They're still long kicks, but they have that green line, on TV that they say, well, they just have to get to this spot, and then they seem to shut it down. As a kicker, are you ever sitting there thinking, hey, get me another 10 yards, for goodness sakes. Make it a little bit easier for me. I mean, it was a 49-yarder. That's, it's a tough kick.
Definitely, you want to get as close as possible, and I bring it back to an Oklahoma State game that I was watching a couple weeks ago, and I think Gundy got him to like the 33, and that was like his cutoff line.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally just ran out the clock.
Yeah.
And from the 33, I'm like, that's no gimme, a 51-yarder. That's a long ways back there. So, but to know that Coach Peterson and my teammates had that confidence in me just to get me to a comfortable spot, a 49-yarder in the NFL is a kick that you should be making every time. I think that's pretty easy to say. You look at guys all around the league, the guys that are best in the league, they're making those kicks on a weekly basis, obviously on Sundays. So to know that they had that confidence in me and send me out there, it kind of gave me that extra boost that, okay, I'm supposed to be here and I'm supposed to go out there and do this.
In baseball, we call this a no-doubter, man. I mean, you knew right away, obviously.
Oh, my gosh. It's the best feeling when you know right off your foot it's going in. I mean, even watch the ball go in. So to know that it was good right off my foot is such a good feeling.
Cam, we watch it from the side in the press box, so I watch you, and that's what told me, oh, yeah, he got it, because as soon as you kicked it, you knew it was good. Yeah, you were ready to celebrate.
Yeah, man, it was a good feeling, obviously knowing right off my foot, and I know my kick is good when Logan starts yelling. Anytime Logan yells, I know that kick is good. So, something that, I was super excited about.
How good is the operation? We've had Logan on before and Ross. I mean, these guys are really good at what they do, but it's a new operation with a young kicker.
Really, really, really good at what they do. Obviously, Ross was a Pro Bowler last year. Not only snapping the ball, but covering the ball. I mean, you see teams putting their best athletes literally on Ross because he's so good in coverage down the field. And obviously, I think he has the highest net in NFL history right now. So he's good at what he does, and to put them in the holding and the snapping situation just gives me all the confidence in the world. I think I still will stand on this hill and I'll die on this hill. I have the best operation in all of the National Football League.
That's a nice thing to be able to say.
I'm very comfortable in saying that.
We've been watching you since the preseason, and I mean, I've already said it, but you're going to hit one from a long, long ways if Peterson gives you a try. That kick would have been good from a long way. I mean, look at you.
178 pounds.
How do you do this thing, Cam Little? How do you make? You're going to hit a 70-yarder at some point.
Yeah, 178 pounds. I don't know. I ask every person, every strength coach I've ever been around, I've wanted to ask him, like, okay, scientifically and like physically, what do you think it's like? Is it just how fast my leg gets through the ball? Like, what is it? And I like to think it's my technique over anything. Obviously, I can't squat a ton of weight, but I like to think my technique. I mean, you look at the guy from the Saints too. He's 153 pounds. He hit a 59-yarder 2 weeks ago.
Sheesh.
So I like to equate it to my technique.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about the kickers in the National Football League in just a bit. But let's hear from Doug Peterson. He had a lot of confidence in that 49-yarder yesterday afternoon.
I mean, it's pressure, but if you know Cam like we do, like I do, he kind of embraces that, honestly, and just an excellent kick. Happy for him, to be able to do that. I think it's the reason why we drafted him.
It's time for the game plan, sponsored by Everbank.
Dan, this is a little cliche, right? And coaches speak as complementary football. But really, if you look at the first month of the year, Jags weren't playing it. When they played well on offense, the defense kind of let up a little bit or let something up. And then they play well on defense, the offense didn't execute good enough. Well, there were moments in this game where all three did. And Devin Duvernay, we saw him with his best return in a Jags uniform. And then the Jags cash in because they got the punt because the defense had stopped it.
Yes.
That's complementary football.
It was great yesterday, and everybody kind of had a role in the victory, which was a good thing. And it felt so good for the football team, I know, as we have Cam Little here. I gotta jump ship real quick and ask you about these kickoffs. I mean, what do you like them? Where are you at with these things?
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm gonna be honest. When the new rule came out, I was not the biggest fan of it because I'm so used to kicking. Arkansas, we just kicked touchbacks the whole time. That was our game plan. And I just like kicking the crap out of the football, so that was fun for me. But obviously,
because you can do it every time, right? Even in the NFL, you can kick it through if you need to.
We should be able to.
Okay.
But I think it adds Definitely some strategy into the game. It makes the coordinators kind of scheme up something that they've never done before, and it's cool to see some teams, especially some guys around the league, hitting these kind of knuckleballs and these certain type of kicks that, you make them return the ball. If it hits the ground inside that landing zone, you have to return the ball, or else you're going to risk, obviously getting inside the 20. So I think it is cool. It is definitely a little more difficult, but I think it adds a freshness and newness to the game. So I've came around on them, and I'm starting to beginning to like them.
We knew about the big leg. We had heard rumblings about the big personality as well. Cam Little's delivering here on Jags Report Live. More with the Jags kicker when we come back. Yeah! Strings Sports Brewery. It's a Victory Monday in Jacksonville. And what about the kickers? I said something to you, Dan, yesterday, and I'll say it here on TV. That's coming up next, just about this position.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it before. That's up next here on Fox 30. It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to String Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to String Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Hey, welcome back to String Sports Brewery here in Springfield. And, hey, nice day to have a beverage on a Victory Monday. Food's fantastic here as well. New location in Jax Beach will be opening up in about a month or so, and we'll be out there with our Monday show. Usually have Jaguars All Access right here on Thursdays. No Jaguars All Access this week because of the storm. Don't worry, we'll make up for it later in the season. Brent Martineau along with Dan Hicken, Cam Little, Jaguars kicker. And I said this to Dan yesterday. I'm not sure I've ever seen a position in sports that has gone from good to great almost overnight. Like, we used to have to look for kickers here in Jacksonville just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We couldn't find seems like everybody's got a guy that can kick it to the moon.
No,
what's happened?
I'm going to be honest, these past 2 years, kicking has taken, like you said, from good to great.
Yeah.
And I think I saw a stat week 1, maybe it was, throughout the league, all NFL kickers were 34 of 36 from 50 plus.
Yeah.
34 of 36 from 50 plus.
It's unbelievable.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
That is unheard of.
Right.
And it's not only in the NFL, it's going from high school to college. I mean, you look at the Temple kicker, he just kicked a 64-yarder 2 weeks ago and a 60-yarder the other day.
And it's just the fact that they try 50-yard, 52-yard, 58-yarders.
Yeah.
Like, it's commonplace.
Yeah,
like, all right, go.
The standard is 50-plus yarders.
Uh-huh.
It's if you're not a guy that's able to do that, at most teams. Some teams, the Lions last year were a little different. They didn't like to try that many.
Look at these stats, Cam. 75 field goals already this year. I looked this up today, made from 50-plus. 75 made. 7 kickers are perfect so far in the year. That kid at Dallas,
That's a mid-first quarter kick, too.
Yeah.
That's mid-first quarter. That's 7 minutes left in the first quarter.
You're giving up a field goal if you don't make it.
Yeah, literally.
Right.
It's unbelievable. So, yeah, and I'm going to speak on him for a sec.
Yeah.
He is setting a standard that everyone we're talking around in our circle around the league is just, the standard is just next level.
Tell you what's going to happen, though. The goalposts?
Yeah,
They're going to start getting skinnier.
They're going to shrink them a little bit.
It's got to.
Yeah, because you guys are so good at it. It's just, it really is, except sometimes Doug Peterson's not a friend of kickers. Too many fourth downs. Let's go for it. Hey, let's get out there and get me 3.
I love it. Hey, I love the aggressive play. I love the aggressive play from Coach. I'm standing behind whatever he says.
Good
I love
answer.
the aggressive play.
Good move.
Good answer, Cam.
I'll take that part.
Yes. But, hey, Cam, why, though? Why? Like, are you working in footballs better than ever before? Is this like a Major League Baseball thing? Are the balls juiced? Are you guys just so good biometrically now, kicking the football? You've been kicking a football for 6 years, and you're this good at it. Why?
I'm going to be honest. I can't really tell y'all why we have gotten so good. I mean, we train together in the offseason, and the standard just keeps getting higher and higher. And I think guys were this good at one point, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, but the analytics either said that because of so many misses prior to that we weren't good enough to kick those kicks, or coaches just started saying, hey, we're just going to start throwing these guys out there and see how it goes. And here we are today.
How far do you think you can make a field goal in a game?
Indoors, we were in Houston. If I'm saying indoors, no wind. Indoors
Okay.
at Houston, we were 64, and we cleared it by probably 3 or 4 yards this past weekend.
Yeah.
But the other day, we tried from 63 going into that same end, and we hit it like it was no problem. So
Yeah, it looks
definitely
like they're all up there.
if we're at end of half, we're attempting that 60-plus yarder.
Yeah.
That'd be good to see. Hey, we've got our drive of the day. There were plenty to pick from, by the way, yesterday.
Yes. Good.
The Drive of the Day is sponsored by Ford F-Series. Test drive one at your local Ford dealer today.
All right, Dan, let's see what's set up the Cam Little kick, because the Jags get the ball back with 2:40 to go, and now pressure's on the offense.
Well, and I think this is really going to pay dividends for Trevor. You know, it's just this experience to go through this and for him to chalk one up in the W column and him to have to make the throws. No panic. We got time. He's in control. You know, he's taking what they'll give him. He made a great throw to Christian Kirk.
Right there.
A great
Big
catch.
time throw.
Huge catch.
Yeah, that was really nice right there. That kind of got you in Cam range, and then we were in good. And then, of course, we start just handing it off because they know Cam's going to knock in that 50-yarder.
That's all right. He had plenty of it. So that was a big drive. And the game-winning drive for the Jags, they get the win, 37-34. Hey, you know what? We do a segment on the show called Sunshine and Rainbows, Cam. It'll be pretty easy to do today. At times over the years, it's been tough. We almost retired it. Not today. We're bringing it back. And we need it this week in Jacksonville with the rain on the way. We're live at Strings Sports Brewery. Cam Little just turned 21 like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
He can finally come here and sit at the bar.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back, and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week, and that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
All right, a different kind of kick coming up here at String Sports Brewery for Cam Little. It says he's not great at this. I mean, give it a whirl, man. A lot of pressure, huh?
Here we go, Cam.
That was good. I hooked that right upright, but it was good.
Yeah, so we're going again.
You want another one?
Oh, off the left upright.
Yay! Right down the middle. Hey, right down Main
Figured it
Street
right
once
out.
again for Cam Little. Hey, sunshine and rainbows as we welcome you back to String Sports Brewery, Jags Report Live. And Dan, we're giving it to the whole team.
The whole
especially
team.
on
Game
offense.
balls for everybody. Terrific performance, and that's a W, and we'll take that as well.
Yeah, and obviously the uniforms. Cam, the uniforms. You love them.
Oh, my gosh. Huge fan of the throwbacks. I want to make those our main jersey, man. You kidding me? No, man. I'm a big in general, I'm a big fan of the teal. But for that goal and the pants to come back, oh, it's perfect.
And as you can see, Tom Coughlin, I thought those teal jackets were pretty awesome, too. Welcome back, everybody. Brent, Martineau, Dan Hicken, Cam Little, Jaguars kicker. And Coughlin going into the Pride, Dan, obviously huge moment here. And well done by everybody in Jacksonville yesterday.
Great moment. Love the teal jackets. Love Coach. Very happy for him. Certainly deserves it for everything that he's done. He built this franchise from the ground floor up and took us to 2 AFC championships, 4 playoff years in a row. It was great with Tony and Jimmy and Freddie up there. So just a really nice moment for and his whole family there to watch. I loved it.
Rain stayed away, too, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Cam Little, what's life in the NFL like for you at 21 years old right now?
It's definitely a lot different than college. I tell all my friends back home that are still in the same class as me and everything like that. It's weird that I'm the same age as them and they're still in college, but I'm in the NFL. It's weird. But it's definitely a lot different. Obviously, moving from a town like Fayetteville to a bigger city like Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a huge city, especially right out by the beaches and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's been fun, and I've gotten to know a lot of guys on the team. I've kind of found my group of guys that I like to hang around, and I mean, this place is awesome. What can you complain about the beach right down the way? Come on now.
Right.
So no, it's been a great experience so far.
When did you get an inkling you were going to get drafted by the Jags, or was it a shock to you?
It wasn't a shock to me because they had kind of worked me out through the pre-draft process a little bit. But as soon as I saw the other two kickers go ahead of me, Jacksonville was the only other team, I mean, besides maybe the Carolina Panthers, that were really looking for a guy in this offseason. So when I got the call, it said Jacksonville Jaguars at the front, and I was so pumped. Pumped to see that phone call.
We were glad they got you as well. And how about the weekend, man? Arkansas beats Tennessee. I mean, you had a heck of a weekend.
Stayed up the whole time watching that thing. Huge upset. Gosh, if only y'all knew how much that means to that state and that stadium.
Yeah.
That win, that field storm after that, those fans, they remind me a lot of Jacksonville's fans. They're so passionate.
Yeah.
They're so invested in the football program, and it's honestly a blessing that I got to go from a place like that, and I didn't skip a beat here. The football fans here are just as passionate as those Arkansas fans, and it speaks volumes on how huge that win is for them.
What was your favorite win in college?
Texas. Had to be.
As long as you didn't say Florida, because I was going to get upset about that.
No, that was definitely not my most favorite win. We were struggling that season a little bit. But, no, that field storm, and we were 4-0 going into that. I mean, come on, man. There's nothing better.
Yeah, that was great. And listen, they are a passionate fan base. And quite frankly, they got a lot of money out there. Arkansas could be on the come. You never know what's going to happen with his NIL and how they figure these things out, because they certainly, John Calipari.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, Calipari.
There we go.
Let's go. Love that.
That's awesome.
Big Suey. Yeah, I see him calling the Hogs back there. Love that.
We might got a little chant going before the end of this show. Wow. Hey, we got to take a time out. We'll come back. We'll ask Cam about London. We leave later this week, and it's always special for the kickers to end up on the other side of the pond. We'll go there when we come back live on Fox 30. Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Shacks 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jags, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brent and Austin Show. They're all in on Trevor. Of course. Download the Action News Jax Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjax.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Shacks 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
All right, so we have 60 seconds to go. In a couple of days, we're headed to London. Are you looking forward to playing at Tottenham and Wembley?
Holy cow, growing up a soccer fan.
Soccer guy.
It's literally dream come true. So we're excited to get out there on the Thursday and get going there.
And you've got to practice a little bit now. It's slicker field.
Yes, right? Wembley especially. I'm a grass nerd, so when it comes to all that stuff, I like to do my research before it. So getting out there and kind of getting my footing will be great pregame.
All right, well, have a great time. Kick us a couple more game winners. Let's get back in the hunt here at 3 and 4.
Let's go, baby.
All right, let's do it.
Ball, come on.
Little, great to have him here on the show on Jags Report Live, and a big kick on Sunday to send the Jags home a winner, and everybody celebrating a victory Monday. We'll be with the team on Thursday out to London, full coverage for the next couple of weeks. Stay safe in the storm, everybody, and stay tuned to Action News Jax for all your weather needs. That will do it from Strings Sports Brewery here in Springfield. Yeah, sounds good, feels good here in Jacksonville to get a win.
Thanks for watching Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.